Okay, welcome back everybody to the Easy Spotlight post game Easy Open show. We did the pre-game show. We had some of the guests who had been on, who've played every tournament, and I'm going to tell you, Justin was quite offended when we pulled up to the course yesterday, having played in all the opens and not getting the call up. He is a commissioner. He is help behind the scenes, as does Chandler, big players in the Easy Open. But guys, how was the day for you yesterday? How are you feeling today? Talk to us.
I'm feeling great. Definitely still on a high. But yeah, it was first of all, it was just a great day to get out with everybody. It was a fun round overall for sure, and it was a good time. A lot more people this year, which was nice.
Chandler, how's the day for you?
No, it was great. I mean, going into it, expecting from predictions we heard in the last podcast, expecting not to be where we are right now. It was just a great day. And like Justin said, just getting out there with everybody and how you set this up is just perfect. So we need to keep this thing rolling.
Yeah,
There was a
agreed.
lot. There was a lot of talking this week, wasn't there? I think, and especially coming into the day because of the podcast that came out last Monday, there was a lot of heat in the air. People felt some type of way, but I will say that this year I felt a momentum shift in the tournament. I think because people know more what to expect from Scrum. A lot of people, haven't even played this kind of tournament style before, and so I could feel like when I was speaking to people on Friday, like oh, they're excited for the tournament, etc. So that was good, and then for everything to kind of live up to the bill on Saturday was awesome. But just for the wider people who are listening, I think I was doing some reflection today on the flight home to Denver, thinking, okay, yesterday was kind of perfect. You couldn't have asked for the day to go better. And I was like, why did I set this tournament up in the first place? And what's the whole point of it? And one, easy living, just to reiterate to everyone, is about creating a life you want to live, essentially. And if I was to think about a life I want to live, it's to be with people I love, with my friends, doing events like this, doing sports, bringing people together. And the one thing I love about this tournament, beyond the golf is just the tool to get there, is that every year you're meeting new people and making these connections that you can then the next year, maybe start golfing together, or I know you. And that idea of continuing to build that community year after year and it expanding for everybody who's involved is the whole idea essentially of easy living. And golf is one tool. And so I just wanted to share the people my feelings and how grateful I am for this event and how it went. But we're going to talk about the golf specifically. We're going to share some videos. We're going to go through the day, essentially, see how you guys were feeling about how it was shaking out. And then we're going to hand out some awards at the
Sounds
end,
good.
because I
Sounds
think
good.
some people felt slighted about the awards that were handed out last week. So again, for those who are listening on audio, we will be sharing some stuff on the screen. So I recommend that this is a good show to watch. But if you're not, I'll also talk through it. So firstly, we started off with some predictions, and last year we actually ended the tournament, the winner was minus 11, right?
Yeah.
And so we got some pre-game predictions. Justin and Ewan kind of
We're here
coming
with
in
Justin
hot here.
Cramarossa, brand new putter. What's your predictions for today, brother?
I think we're going to shoot 10, 12 under and come in first. Right, Hughes?
I'm thinking 14.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
10, 12 under, 14. Didn't quite play out that way. Why do you think that was?
Well, I was 50% right. I said we were coming first, which we did. But I guess last year, what was it? They aerated the greens just like a couple days before, so obviously that changed a lot this year. I think the course was in a lot better condition this year, including the greens. So a lot of putts were breaking a lot more than we thought. The fairways were very nice, which sometimes it looks like you have a great lie, but it's a tough shot, But I think overall, I think it was mostly just the greens.
Shout out to Chandler. 1 second, he's kept the course in great condition, being a working member of the Fort Moore Golf Club. Chandler, give us some information about the course and how you felt it was playing yesterday.
No, I mean, we right now at this point of the year, it's probably in the best shape it will be. It'll stay this way for most of the summer. We keep it cart path only through the winter, which is why it looks like it does now. So nobody's driving over dead grass, and it can look as beautiful as it did yesterday. But I think part of the thing, to go back to why it was so low yesterday, maybe the rain, to give people an excuse. The rain might have caused
Yeah.
some chunky shots and getting too much into the ground. And yeah, Justin said the greens were running faster than normal yesterday. We did roll them that morning, so that might have been also a problem. But yeah, I mean, we're in great shape in terms of the course, but I don't think that discredited anybody's play yesterday. We were all so close for most of the day. Everybody was 1 or 2 shots away from each other, and it could have gone anybody's way. So
I think that was the biggest thing, right? Like, regardless of the score, the fact that everybody essentially was in it, regardless, when you were coming into the 13th hole, 14th hole, if you'd birdied every hole, you win the tournament. So the whole day you're in it. The course was in incredible shape. I think everybody who finished the round said the same thing. Oh, if I just made a putt, if we just made this putt, we had so many lip outs on here, we had this, that. So everyone was kind of having that same sentiment, and no one really pulled away from the pack. So let's go through some of the scorings, watch some of the clips, and get a feel for it. People watching on the YouTube, you can see the crowd of the day and the beautiful course behind it. But this Hoodie's team, let's talk about them. We'll watch this putt as it goes in here and just watch how the reaction comes towards the end of this.
Come on, get in! Whoa!
That might have been stuttering a bit, but essentially Hoodie and Baylor, they had a lot of prediction. We felt they had a strong team across the board. Sattler, Baylor talked a lot last week, and they came last. They came last, dead last. I heard that Dan only contributed 1 shot yesterday.
Wow. I didn't hear that until just now. That's funny though, because he was chatting a lot in the last video. I'm not surprised though.
What was your feelings about how Dan was speaking and their prediction last week?
Well, I said to a number of people yesterday, and nothing on Dan, but I didn't listen to much he said last week. I was focused on us as a team, and I listened to bits and pieces from what he said. But to go as far as, I think he was the one that put us in 8th, and it's a little ironic to be, for him to be in that 8th spot, and we're where we are now. So
he also said his team was going to win or finish in the top 3. Wasn't even close.
He did. And let's watch and enjoy this swing from Daniel Fairley. This is a first for any golf fans out there who are able to actually pull this up and watch this. I've never seen this happen before. I'm going to describe what happens here. So Dan Thaler is setting up for a drive, and he's on the 6th hole. This is the long drive hole here. He's getting ready to absolutely crush the ball. We've had buffering, so I'm going to describe what happens in that the club comes out of his right hand, swings around, hits him in the back of the head. He's then wincing. So everyone go and follow the EAZY community, and you can go and see this clip later. But it's on the story too. I'm really hoping that this buffering doesn't continue, because we need to see the end of today's show.
I don't know how he did that. It's impressive.
He's a special character. We're going to skip the videos. So this is the scoreboard as we move into middle of the day. So you guys were kind of at the back of the pack. And as we progressed, we actually were 3rd in the thing. So nobody made a birdie for ages. not ages, but the first birdie we were actually the first birdie on the par 3. So we had gone through the first par, we bogeyed the second, we all put it in the water and had to chip on, and then we finally got 2 birdies back to back. But how did your day kind of start out, and how was the morale moving in your team?
Honestly, I'm pretty sure we start off on fire. I mean, first hole, par. We made par. Second hole, Chandler hit probably like a 30 or 40 foot putt for birdie. So that just started our day really well. Par 3, I think we saved it for par. The par 5 got a birdie, and we were just on a streak. I think we were like 3 under after 4 or 5 holes. It was a good start for us for sure.
How are you feeling, Chandler, when you dropped that putt?
Well, to do it early felt really good because I didn't think, knowing the greens on the first hole, I didn't think it was going to be an easy day for us. And we've already figured that out, that it was not fun for anybody. But being able to do that early, I think, got all of us some confidence that, we can be in contention, even though it was the second hole. It gave us this lift. So, and it was nice to be able to do that for all of us. But yeah, moving from that, I mean, after the next par 3, we were moving steadily until about, I think we bogeyed 6.
The long drive hole, yeah.
And then we had to get back into it, yeah.
How did you bogey it? Just everyone was trying to crush it and they pushed it left?
Yeah, I think we were chipping on, and our chip was just off the front, and we left it real short. And 6 is not an easy green by any means. And it was just, we had a real mover, and we just all missed the putt and had a tap in the boat.
Yeah, I think
those holes too that we lipped out, and I know we talked about it, but the lip outs were bad, especially that one.
I think the feeling when I was seeing the leaderboard and seeing you guys is you did have a hot start. I was like, oh God, you're already at -3 and you've got balls to play. And then it kind of seemed like you guys cooled off a little bit. And so as we kind of moved into the middle of the day, most people have hit the turn by now. The scores for people who could see the screen is 6 teams tied at -3. And 2 teams tied at -2. So at this point, it's absolutely anyone's game to take it and start stepping away. And I was interested at the end when we were coming in to hear different people's strategies, depending on how they would putt and how they would go about their approach shot. Did you guys use the same order throughout the whole scramble, or did you guys make a decision as it went?
Kind of a mix. We did have an order. Chandler, he said it. He said, "Give me one look and I'll make the putt." And he did make a lot of putts after like Isaac went first or I went first. But some holes it was just like, all right, I'm feeling this. I'm gonna step up and hit it. Whenever I said that, I didn't hit it, but at least I gave Chandler the read. He usually went second for us and would somehow drain the putt, even if it was like 30 feet out. It was crazy, but we kept our driving order and our iron order pretty much the same, but came down to putting. It's just all about feel, like who was feeling it.
I think you guys had a pretty solid team across the board. Like you're all kind of close in the level. Like Justin, I'd say you're the best, and then all the other 3, you can have your day and win. And so I think that kind of changes the way you can play for us. Honestly, I'm going to shout out MJ and Umar here because I'm going to speak to my team. They had a huge day yesterday for them. Huge day. Because there was a lot of pressure on me and Austin to kind of carry the team, but from a putting perspective and I'll not say chipping, but hitting some safe shots, they did a huge job, but they would always lead. And then essentially it would be me and Austin. And when you miss those 2 putts and you've got like the 3rd or 4th, it starts playing on your mind. Like,
yeah,
it's just 1 putt for me. I know we've got 2 chances, but I don't get 2 chances. And those putters then drop by. But the day was bunching up. What was your... Because this is the kind of around the time when it started to rain, and you already kind of mentioned this, Chandler. Like, what were you feeling? Because everyone in the messages was like, shall we stop? Shall we continue? And you guys were like, let's continue. Let's continue. What was your team thinking?
It
I
was
mean,
go ahead, Chen.
we got down to 10 when it started just pouring. So we were waiting on, I think Kieran's team was in front of us and they were waiting. And I think our thing was we kind of just wanted to keep going with it because if everybody stopped, it would have just caused, I think it would have added excuses to how the day might have finished if we put a pause on everything. So I even went into the pro shop and said, don't sound the weather siren. Don't, like, it's going to pass. We'll be fine. So I think it was keeping momentum, and we did have a 10, 15-minute break. We sat under the trees on 10. But yeah, I think we wanted to just keep the momentum, and we wanted to just, keep our hot start. But I think at that time we were only 3 under, and we finished 2 under on the back. So I don't know if that helped or not, but yeah, we just wanted to keep going, and I don't think that stopped anybody, that anybody else wanted to keep going too. So
Yeah,
I don't think that was a big problem.
I think for us, first of all, the rain didn't really start until we were like on the green on the 9th hole, which we birdied, so we were feeling good, and it kind of worked out for us because we just finished. We went inside, got our hot dog, whatever, got a couple more beers, went down, and then by the time then we only had to wait 10 minutes to hit our next shot, but we wanted to keep on going. We were feeling good, and we were kind of hoping some other people would get nervous on some shots because it was raining. So we're like, oh, we know what to do. So, and then, I mean, I guess, I don't know if it helped us or hurt us. I mean, we obviously finished, I think, 3 under on the front. I guess we finished at 6 under. So 3 under on the back. We were pretty consistent the whole day.
I think everybody kind of slid. I do think the back 9 at Folk Mill plays a little harder than the front. And the rain for us started on hole 10. And so it was not too bad, but I was like, this is not the hole I really want to hit. It's the closest to the pin. And also, if you miss anywhere, that's not the green. It's not, you're in trouble. But we ended up just like we need to get off this hole because I don't want to sit around here. So we played it. We actually played it well, parred it, and then we waited on the next hole. And it's funny because when it was raining, that's when Kieran actually won the closest to the pin. He absolutely just stuck it. And so who knows? Sometimes you just go out there, you're probably thinking less, and you just hit your shot, and you keep it moving. But on the screen, the day progressed, as you said. The scoring was low. Every time I refreshed the score, I was expecting, honestly, another birdie for somebody to drop it. It wasn't happening. Like, people were so slow with the scores. I was like, someone's going to get 7. Someone's going to get to 6 quick. No one did. No one got to -6 until the last hole. Which, did you get? Were you already on my? No, were you already on -6?
We had, and to shout out one of our teammates that isn't here, Ewan was the last one to make the putt on 18, and we had to make that to make it to the playoff.
Yeah.
So we talk about putts all day, and he made that one, which was huge for us.
Right, and that's where we crumbled because we were on -5 coming into the last hole. Honestly, we actually putted from the exact same place as you, pretty much, and we all missed it. And then day was over because King had came in at -5, so they were just praying that everybody does it. So we miss, and they're buzzing. They're like, everyone else is going to miss it. And then Kieran's team came in. Stanton hit a huge putt because he was the same as Ewan in that all 3 of them had missed, and he was the last one, drained a big putt. And then you guys did the same, which is funny that both of you on the last putts made it.
Yeah.
And so we're progressing through the day. Hoodie's team out of it. Team Short, worst performance they've had to date. DJ's team's always been up there. I heard Team Lum's team got super unlucky. Were you playing close to them?
Yeah, I think they were the group behind us.
And they had a bunch of lip outs, but everyone said they had a bunch of lip outs, so you got to just stick it close and get the job done. But let's see if we can watch this last putt from Ewan to get us in the final.
Come on, former champ. Let's go.
former champ, two-time the Scotsman, comes up, sticks it. So at this time, we're thinking, okay, we're now going to move into a playoff in the green. And if people are watching online, you can kind of see the setup. And this is why I love Fort Mill as well, is because this 18th hole is on this plateau, like on this slope. So everyone's standing there. So when you're about to hit your shot, you can just see everyone looking over you, you know? And that's like, this is the best moment of the whole day, to be honest, is like you're looking forward to this when everyone is around you. It works great if you're earlier in the finish. But how did you guys feel when you were coming up and hitting this and everyone was standing around and watching?
I wasn't like, I mean, I missed my putt, but I'm just glad no one was chirping. Or I know Kieran's making fun of me saying that I got wobbly knees when I putt because I'm nervous, and I missed that putt, but I wasn't nervous. It was just, it's like you're talking about in the scramble. It's like, all right, you got 4 chances, but once you get to that third person, it's like you feel good about it and you want to make it, but then so your fourth person doesn't want to do it, but then also the mindset's like, all right, if I miss it, then the fourth person has a chance. So it's fun though because everyone's there. It's hype. You make your putt and everyone's celebrating and saying some stuff. But it was a good time.
How are you feeling on that last one, Chan? Do you think you're going to sit yours?
I will say I had flashbacks from last year's finish
Yeah.
when our heartbreaking miss of the playoffs when all 4 of us missed a 5-footer. But I don't know. With our putting yesterday, I was pretty confident in all 4 of us, and I know Isaac, Justin, and I missed ours, but I knew we didn't have many that all 4 of us missed yesterday. So I was fairly good, and yeah, the chirping was nice, and I mean, it's just fun to have that part of it. Like you said, everybody's over you. There's 30. If you're in the last group, there's 28 guys standing over you, just giving you business. So it's a good thing to have, and like you said, it's nothing, no harsh comments towards anybody. It's all fun, and we all know that. So yeah.
It was, and you synced it. Also, just to shout out your other teammate, Isaac, he hit the nice, beautiful chip
Yeah.
shot to even get there. How did he play? Because he seemed to be pretty solid from the last part of our play and then going into the playoff. How was Isaac's day yesterday?
I thought he played really well. I mean, his driver was consistent down the middle every single time. He had some really good approach shots. Definitely, I think he made a couple putts, but he always gave us a good read if he didn't make it, or at least gave it put it close where he could just tap it in. So he played really well, and obviously Isaac is a great dude. Anyways, just no worries in the world. He's just having a good time, so it was fun. He played really well.
He's the right man for the temperament. We talked about temperament on the pre-game show, and it does translate that temperament of someone like an Isaac Walker, just the nicest man in the room. And he showed it yesterday. So on the screen now, we have the final scores before we went into the player. So at a tie in the lead, it was Team Gore and Team Cramarossa. Joint third was 4 teams, Team King, Team Lum, Team Spiru, and me, Team EAZY at -5. And then the last 2, Team Short, Team Hoodie at -3, just kind of fell away from the pack. So how we typically end these tournaments, if it gets to a playoff, is that we go onto the putting green and we do a penalty shootout style finish, as all being majority soccer players, and that's what we're gonna do. We were heading over there, and then Big Chan comes down with the best suggestion of the day. He said, guys, if you want to finish this right, we can go down and play the first. If it's not done by then, we'll play the night. The daylight was setting away. Everyone was feeling that master spirit in the air, and the energy just took off. We headed to the first tee, and it was showtime. So on the screen, you see the 2 teams set up here to go in. We have Isaac, Chan, Justin, and Ewan on the left, and we have Stanton, Louis, Nick, and Kieran on the right. Now, to be fair, we played right next to Kieran's team, and I was watching them all day. They could have definitely won it. I think all the teams could have definitely won it, and if they made some putts, but they were solid across the board. Like Nick and Stanton, it's their first time playing this year. And I mean, Stanton hit some big shots toward the end of this. Nick chipped in on that short par 4, which was crazy. And I think that turned it for them because they had a terrible front nine,
Yeah, I think they
actually.
were
They'd bogeyed one.
-1.
They're only -1. And then they birdie 9, birdie 10, par 11, birdie. And they were just on this roll. And we felt them behind them. We kept missing putts. I was like, oh no. Oh no. Momentum shift. So anyway, the way we played the last hole is that on the drive, we did an alternate shot. Alternate shot between the teams. It was still the same scramble format so that we could all then go down the fairway and finish it up. Chan, I think you hit the drive for your team, got it down there, and Nick
After some sketchy stuff, but yeah, my ball falling off the tee, and yeah,
it did. I won't play it here because it's going to freeze again. But when that happened and everybody started chirping, you held your cool though, and you put it down there. And it's funny watching it on the video because you'll turn around and you could just see it in your face. You're like,
To be fair too, when me and EAZY were walking to the first tee or driving to the first tee, we looked at each other and we said, like, our chances on this is a lot less likely than a putt off. Like, we felt good about a putt off with how we were all putting, and no offense to Louis, but I mean, if it came down to a four-man putt off, you know, we felt a lot better about that compared to going to the first tee. But you know, things happen.
That's interesting. I didn't even think about that you'd be thinking like, the put off would have been a better scenario for us.
mm-hmm.
So in terms of where they landed, you guys landed perfectly, essentially right in the middle of the fairway. Stanton was the only one who hit a great drive on theirs. Nick hit one into the fairway but was behind, and they would have had tree trouble. So they ended up picking a shot that was about 100 yards out on mud, realistically. I mean, it probably was the right shot, but I don't know if we're not going to blame beers or anything, but Kieran fell apart at this point, wasn't there, and Nick ended up hitting a great shot onto the green and made it. And Ewan, for you guys, stepped up and got you within range. I mean, if he hadn't even got you where you see you're standing right now, back end of the green, just over the bunker, could have been a disaster.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking?
That bunker.
So what are you thinking at this time? So just before you hit this shot, to be honest, Isaac's hit a great chip. Like I think you're making that putt that he's chipped it. He's chipped it within 3 feet. And so now you've really got nothing to lose. And I remember I was thinking today as we said it, I was like, if I'm hitting this shot, it's a pitching wedge. And you hold it up and it was a pitching wedge. Well, what were you thinking when you're coming in now?
Isaac obviously hit a good shot, gave us a good read, so we can, a good chance to make par for sure. I actually hit a shot just like this on the par 5, I think on the front, and stuck it to probably about a foot. So I felt good about it. Obviously, I was like, if I hit it too long or if I don't hit it good, like Isaac's in, range where we can easily tap in for par. Wasn't really thinking much. I mean, Chandler gave me a good line to aim at. Obviously, I saw how Isaac's ball rolled, so I just kind of played it from there.
And the rest is history, forever in history. So we're going to try and watch this, folks. We've not had good connection to date, so I don't think it's going to work, but we've got to give it a go. We've already watched it about 100 times each individually. It's already on the social medias, but let's give it a go.
Oh, that looks pretty good. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm just going to pause it there. So when you've just chipped it in, you're starting to hear everybody going, that looks pretty good. Because from my angle, I'm like, I can't really tell how in line it is, but I hear Huddy, I hear everyone, and they're like, oh my God, this could be it. Did you when you hit that shot, did you feel like it was the one?
No. I mean, at like halfway through, obviously Huddy was standing right next to me, so he's like, oh, that looks good. I'm like, all right, so it's going to be right around where Isaac's is, if not like maybe a little bit past or whatever. Then he said, "Oh my gosh," and I was kind of at a weird angle too. So I couldn't really tell, and then I just see it slowly rolling, and I'm like, I think it's it's crazy.
Apologies to anyone listening in headphones, because that's going to scream down your ear hole if you hear that.
If you actually see Chino's video, once Huddy said, "Gosh," I actually started walking towards the hole.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was already walking behind it.
yeah.
I could see it
And
better
then
than the three of you all.
it like, you know that Nike commercial with Tiger Woods when he chipped in and like slowly
Hey,
rolls and
comparing yourselves
stops?
to Nike now. Okay.
Yeah,
To
right
Tiger.
now. Yeah, when it got to the point when it was rolling, because at the end it like I don't know if it just slowed down. It slowed down and then trickled in. It honestly it felt like that chip from Tiger. If you got to pull up the video and put it side by side, it's the exact same.
It honestly was like a movie, and it's funny because there's a put I showed earlier of Hoodie, and it's funny when you think the ball is going to go in the hole,
Yeah,
you automatically start walking to it. It's just an instinct reaction where you're like, "Oh, we've got it." And I love I keep watching your dad in the background, and by the time the ball's in the hole, he's about 2 yards out, like willing the thing in, clapping it, and
yeah.
and then it's just pandemonium.
I think that
I mean,
was my dad's proudest moment for me.
I was literally thinking that yesterday. I was thinking there's probably never going to be a moment that tops that father-son moment. Bart was beaming. For everyone who doesn't know, Justin Bart's dad also plays in this tournament. I was like, at Justin's wedding, they're going to have to get this up on screen,
Yeah, I got to.
just to share the moment. Again,
I did tell, if Amber listens to this, I did tell her yesterday, I was like, when we have a kid, that's going to be the second best moment. This is probably the first. She wasn't too happy at first, but I mean, it is. I felt like I won the Masters.
I know. I was also thinking that with the wedding coming up, I was like, is the wedding going to be better than what just happened today? Like, I'm not sure it can be. The emotion on your face, Amber, is, of course, your wedding day is going to be better. But
it is.
The emotion on your face and how crazy it all went. It was insane. Chandler, what were you thinking when that dropped?
I don't remember really. I was watching it. I was just as surprised as everybody because, no offense to Justin, he wasn't hitting shots like that yesterday. He had one, and that was maybe it. Around the green, he was not our best player, but to show up then, and like I said, I was walking behind it the entire time, and I'm running up and down that hill yesterday. I'm still sore. I'm sore today, just from that.
Yeah,
and
I think
watching it from the back was one of the best things I've been a part of. I said to people, we were a part of game-winning goals at Queens, and that felt better than all of them put together.
Yeah, I think me and Kieran were talking about it, and if anyone has played with me or knows my game, I'm good with my irons and usually good with my driver. My short game is never good. So to do that, I think if you watch the video again too, the first thing I do is sprint to Kieran and get in his face. Because I know he would be the first person that says something to me if I didn't make it or didn't hit it good. So I just had to do it. I just had to get into his face. It was me and him are boys, and I played with him a million times, and he's always the first person that makes comments about my short game and my putting. So yeah.
We're trying to get this moment live here, but as you say, look at this.
That's it.
Arms out, straight to Kieran's face. And that's the thing, this wasn't the last putt. So the other team had already placed it on the green. So they're walking up to this, they're thinking, we're comfortable here. We're on the green. We're definitely going to at least make this in two. We've got a great chance for bird. And then you make that, and you can just see them deflated. And it was funny because I didn't even think about them during this. And then, today watching it back, I was like, they didn't even get to really enjoy that moment.
Yeah. No, they weren't happy.
They didn't they've lost the day. That moment it was gone for them in that. And Nick, I remember, Nick was making comments about everybody running through his putting line, which just cracks me up.
Yeah, he
But
was not happy.
that sealed the deal. You guys ended up winning it in the craziest of fashions. That just topped up everything that this, like, you couldn't have asked for a better day. You couldn't ask all the teams to be so close together, the weather, the conditions to be perfect. I mean, the rain was really nothing. It was like just a nice break in the day for us. We just had a beer and we're sitting there chilling, knowing it's going to pass. And then the craziest thing for me, I think after it was like, isn't it crazy? You can kind of, like, this moment, nobody who was involved in yesterday will forget that. Right. And this is just an event we've just made. This is just bringing a bunch of people together, just a bunch of friends, and having some friendly competition. And you're able to create a memory that you'll never forget. This is not like a sanctioned event where it's like on TV, but
Yeah.
I just found that so crazy that something like this could create something that you'll always remember. And I think that's pretty awesome.
And the format's perfect too, because it's not individual balls, it's scrambles. So there's obviously a lot of golfers. Don't want to point out anyone, but Louis, for example, he knows he's not like the best golfer, but he goes to have a good time. Same with Omar. He's like, I'm here to have a good time. And if you don't contribute, like, it doesn't matter. You have a team. There's not a lot of stress on you. You're just hanging out with your 3-4 best friends in the cart and having a good day.
That's the thing I do love about this tournament, and I don't think will ever change unless someone just gets unbelievable out of the group that's already been playing. But this tournament really is, whatever level you are, you can come and play.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think we'll ever do a tournament where it's like, not to say ever, but I don't think you'll ever be able to just go and create your own team of killers, because it'll change the whole dynamic of the tournament. The beauty in it is that 6 under, like 6 under can win a day of a scramble. Any other golfer will be looking at like a scramble, and you guys are only 6. Yeah, well, you got to look at the range of players and how everything else plays out. But that's what makes it fun, because everybody is just like, the barrier is gone, regardless of how you play. I was talking to Louis before, and he was saying that last year was like one of the first times he played golf, and he was like, I've not before that. Honestly, it's just intimidating to me, because if I go and play, say he goes and plays with you guys, and you're playing his own shot, he's having to hit another shot. He's having to hit another shot. Oh, the day's dragging on. Everyone's thing. I'm shooting 100. The scramble, it just removes all of that. And, people get into the game more and more. Like Umar hit this one unbelievable approach shot yesterday. And that's a shot he'll never forget for the rest of his life. But the more we talked, it's like he can, because he would never have got into that position to hit a birdie shot on his own.
Yeah.
But because of the scramble format, he really can contribute throughout the day. He made probably the most putts for us because he was always the first one putting. So he leaves feeling with this great feeling too, which is awesome. But let's wrap it up. Let's do some awards. So just for the pre-game show, the awards was the best golfer, worst golfer, the thanks for coming award, and the most improved. And thanks for coming went to Kaz, most improved went to you, Chan. The best was Kevin O.D., who didn't play, and the worst was, I can't remember. It might have been Kaz as well. But Kaz definitely wasn't the worst yesterday. I've got a number one favourite for the worst, but I don't know if you guys saw anything else there. Chandler, do you have any feelings on who was the worst golfer yesterday?
I mean, obviously, we don't watch everybody play, but
You hear
I'm gonna
things.
put Dan down there. I mean, I heard a lot of talking before, and I didn't hear any of it was backed up yesterday. And I didn't, even from him. So I have to put him there.
Justin, did you see anything different to argue against that?
Just from everything I've heard, Dan only contributed 1 shot if he was lucky. So I'm going to have to go with Dan on that one as well.
I had the absolute honor and privilege of watching Dan, and yeah, Dan, you were the worst golfer yesterday. He didn't show up in the post game discussions over a few beers. Your own team started to dig into you. I felt sorry for you at that time, but also it is what it is. When you start talking about other people's game, you've got to be able to back up your own.
Yeah.
The best golfer of the day. Now, you didn't see everybody play, so I'm going to go down to your group as you won and let you guys crown out of you four who was the key player that you think made you guys over the edge.
Well, I mean, if we're going to go based off of what happened yesterday, I feel like we have to put Justin there. I mean, he hit the shot that made us win single-handedly. So in total, we were all pretty well-rounded, but just for that reason, I would put Justin there.
That was the big cojones moment, wasn't it? That was the one that,
Yeah.
we can all put now and then, we can all get hit the green, but to make it, to win the whole thing, like that, a moment that you'll never forget, and a moment that you'll tell your grandchildren.
Yeah.
Justin Cramarossa, congratulations, best player of the day.
Thank you.
Most improved player. I'm just going to take this one here and give most improved, because in the pre-game show, our friend Dan Failer called out Umar as being one of the worst players on the tour, on the Easy Open tour. And I'm going to tell you, Umar took some offense to that. This year is the year of golf. I've said it before, I've said it now. And yesterday, he really stepped up. Umar Okyar, you win most improved. Last but not least, it's the Thanks for Coming award. It's the award we appreciate you being there. Thank you so much for your efforts. You contributed nothing to the game of golf, but we liked you in spirit and your presence. Any favorites for the Thanks for Coming award?
I think we're all going to say the same thing here. Dan Fowler. No?
Chandler?
I'm gonna give Dan some slack here.
Ooh.
I'm gonna give it to Team Short.
Team.
Cool.
Oh.
It's a good one.
Two-time champions and big talk in the pre-show. So, and you finish tied for last. I didn't
That
hear
is a
much
great
from anybody
shout.
yesterday.
They honestly went completely under the radar yesterday. They just played their game of golf. There wasn't much talking. We didn't see them much. They were never, ever in the thing whatsoever. And they kind of just slipped out there at the end. But personally, because Bart was in that team, I think he took yesterday as a huge win.
Yeah.
That was a huge win for him. So he left ecstatic about the day. So I think it's a great shout, though. So I think we'll do a joint award. Dan Failer definitely has to be down there for talking so much. And guess what? So does Mr. DJ Short for talking so much in the pre-game show and not being able to back it up. So that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen, on the 2024 Easy Open, the 4th edition, the best one yet, bar none. The next year's one, there will always be another one. It will be sometime. Look out, follow the Easy community, and we'll be posting about it. We may do other events in the future, but the core is this Texas Scramble tournament. And congratulations to Chandler and Justin on an incredible win. Justin for making history. Not only in the Easy Open, but probably in the history of the Fort Mill Golf Club. I honestly I'm going to be emailing Dennis as well. I'll probably just chuck that video in, Chan, just so you guys can really enjoy that. Maybe put it on your
He's already seen it.
It's a historic moment. Everyone who participated in the Easy Open, thank you so much. It's a great day out, and we'll see you again next year. If you've not played in it, hey, it's an open. It's open for everyone. Get involved. Anyway, keep it easy. Thank you all.